Dribble it out, boys. Dribble it out. All right, I closed the stream. Oh, wow. All right. Well, let's get into the post-game show. And where do we actually begin? Before we begin, we'll try to figure it out. Make sure if you're watching the Clips channel to give us a sub. We usually have a lot more fun with these, especially when the Raptors win, but the Raptors lose on this occasion. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream, on this clip. Actually, let's get to 50. From the opening tip to the end of the game, it was quite embarrassing what we saw from the Raptors in this game. There was, I don't think, other than a good individual performance by Scottie Barnes, I just don't think there was any single thing I could say we did well today. There was not one specific endeavor where that was positive. Let's use that and build off that for tomorrow's game against the Philadelphia 76ers. I just don't think there's one thing we can take away as a positive from this game. That's the problem for me. I always say on this channel, it's not necessarily about the win-loss. It's about playing well. And the scoreboard is off on the bottom here. Oh, over here. The game finished 104-88 in favor of the Boston Celtics. They absolutely dismantled us from start to finish. And most of the dismantling came at the hands of the Raptors' inability to generate any offense. And the Boston Celtics, well, we turned the ball over fucking how many times? We turned the ball over 18 times, and the Celtics absolutely crushed us on the offensive glass. And it was almost comical in the second quarter how their absolute domination on the offensive glass. Robert Williams got countless uncontested offensive boards. Jason Tatum had one where nobody was in his universe on an offensive board. So embarrassing loss here. Let's dive in a little bit to the statistics, as we always like to do when we get started on the post-game shows. Usually much more lighthearted, but I'm gonna get really upset over the course of this one. So just to kind of intro us what we saw from the game, if you didn't quite catch it, the Raptors shoot 43% from the field, 6 for 25 from 3. You can't win a game in the NBA shooting 24% from 3. The Boston Celtics shoot about 45 and 34. And the offensive boards 12-6, but their second chance points absolutely beat up on the Raptors. We turn it over 18 times, and a rare occasion where we have more turnovers than the opposition team. Siakam still not quite back to his best. Gets 30 minutes at center. Like, I don't understand. Okay, fuck the stats. I don't get how Nick Nurse can say after every game. I don't get how Nick Nurse can say in every interview after a game that we are not just going to stick to the same starting lineup. We're going to adjust the starting lineup as it fits to the opposition team. He says that he said that all last season. He never changes his tactic for the game. He never changes his game plan. It's always the exact same game plan. And in a game where the Boston Celtics start 2 elite rebounding centers, how can that not be the indication that you should go with a center from the start of the game? Precious Achiuwa, as bad as he was, had 9 rebounds. Could he have helped us if he started? I think so. How can you sit in an interview and say you're going to change lineups based on your opponent, but then play against 2 elite rebounders and not change it? That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Some adjustments were made defensively because in the second quarter, it really started to get away from us. Again, the amount of offensive rebounds just easily gathered by Robert Williams. In the end, oh my fucking God. Robert Williams had 8 offensive rebounds. He had 3 more offensive rebounds than he had defensive rebounds. All in all, 13 defensive rebounds. Was there not a problem at any point that we could have identified during the game? Like, all you have to do to rebound, really, you're gonna lose some. The other team's gonna collect some offensive rebounds, no doubt. The other team is gonna get some offensive rebounds. It's gonna happen. 8. Like, if I'm on the floor, Nick Nurse has to tell one guy, okay, you're on Robert Williams. All I have to do, I am way shorter than Robert Williams, but surely if I stand near him enough and stand in between him and the basket at the time of a shot, I'm probably going to come up with some of those rebounds. Even me, I'm 6 feet tall. Never mind, Chris Boucher, who's what, like 6'9", or anybody else of that height. Like, you can't just stand in front of him. Like in the second quarter, like, Scotty Barnes played well, but he was in for a lot of those plays. OG Anunoby as well. Like, can you not just fucking stand there and stop him getting an open offensive rebound? Do you know how many extra points it generated for the Celtics? And in the second quarter, they went on a huge run as a result of it. It's such a fundamental and hustle play. You can't lose games like this because you didn't try hard enough, because that's what it seemed like with this game. Offensively, in the first quarter, we shot 2 threes. Second quarter, we were barely shooting any. Then all of a sudden, third, fourth quarter, okay, now let's shoot some. But we couldn't hit our threes. This is the second straight game where the Raptors showed an inability to hit threes. The 5-game winning streak plus the brutal loss to the Cavs, we were shooting fine from 3. But the last 2 games, I mean, we've been open too. And when we're not hitting our 3-pointers, it clogs up the paint because the Celtics go, all right, if you're not going to hit a 3, then come fucking hit a layup. They bank 5 guys down low. They make it very difficult for us to hit layups. And even in the first quarter, the amount of wide open layups that we actually missed was unreal. I think I counted 5 easy shot bunnies that we missed in the first quarter. You got to get those. So from start to finish, this game was just absolutely horrible for the Raptors. This is not a great Celtics team. They came into this game 4-6. I would say their organization is quite literally in shambles here. Jaylen Brown's injured. You got Marcus Smart calling out teammates aggressively in the media. They can't find their game. Jason Tatum has been struggling. Their defense isn't that good. It's only 12th best in the NBA. There's no reason to go down to the Celtics in this manner. I get it, you lose a close game, but no, I seriously cannot stand watching the Raptors play and not put in effort. Because it comes down to effort. Those offensive rebounds. Robert Williams doesn't get 8 offensive rebounds if you're working hard. And it's not just about running hard. It's about putting the effort to make the right plays. So that, I just can't believe the manner of that loss. Offensively, our half-court offense is still a problem. And the rebounding. Another thing I can say, I've been saying all year, this team has a problem. It's centers. Khem Birch's presence is really being missed right now, and I get that is part of the problem for the Raptors. His plus-minus and his ability to affect plays on offense and on defense is being missed. But you set yourself up for this. You set yourself up for this when you didn't get another center. You set yourself up for this problem. I've been saying this since the start of the season, since before the start of the season. When you're going to get into games against true centers like Robert Williams, and if you don't have a proper center to lock down the paint, you're going to be in trouble. And you don't always need to go to it. I like the positionless game. I like the fact that we use Precious in so many different situations, but he's been struggling. Khem Birch, I like the fact that we can use him in a lot of different situations. But when you need that center to go get a fucking board every once in a while, you can't, there's nobody to put in. There is no plan B. And that's another thing. Like people, I'm not doubting Nick Nurse in any way whatsoever, but it's always plan A, and that's it. There's never a plan B. There's never an adjustment made to combat what we're seeing throughout the game. It's all okay, just keep doing exactly what we're doing. And that's literal fucking insanity. Just beating your head against the wall and expecting a different outcome than the last time you did it. We need something different on the bench. Because you'd think, Boucher could do it or Precious Achiuwa could do it after his great preseason. Precious Achiuwa, it's not happening for him. And Boucher, what is even the point of putting Chris Boucher on the floor? And I don't get why Justin Champagnie only gets 1.5 minutes to end the game. In the game against the New York Knicks, when we were really struggling in the first half, Champagnie came in and I think offered a lot of positivity to the play, could rebound well, energy guy. But Chris Boucher does nothing. Literally nothing. There is not one positive thing you can say about Chris Boucher's performances this season. All Chris Boucher does on offense is shoot threes. He doesn't make any of them, but all he does is shoot them. He has absolutely no effect offensively other than shooting threes. He doesn't bother even trying to get to the rim. He doesn't even bother trying to establish any sort of inside presence whatsoever on offense. And that's not as bad as what he does defensively. See, last season, Boucher was putting up all-star caliber numbers, but that was a big mask for his lack of defensive ability. Also, the fact that Raptors were so horrible defensively as a team. Chris Boucher His IQ defensively is in the negatives. He has no idea when to rotate. He has no idea when to switch and when to not switch. He doesn't fight through screens. He barely rebounds. I mean, he got absolutely torched on the glass, only in 2 rebounds today. Torched by Robert Williams on so many different occasions when a simple box out would have been sufficient. This guy's 6'9". This guy's 6'9". And even when Boucher 2 years ago had only got his garbage time, sometimes he came in and sparked some energy and actually could get to the rim and actually could provide an impact of some sort. His footwork on the perimeter on defense as well. He can't defend the interior because of his size. He doesn't use it. He doesn't use it in any way at all. He gets bodied way too easily. He doesn't know how to rotate off ball. And when he's on ball on the perimeter defending, he is a newborn deer on fresh ice and just has no ability to move his feet. It doesn't make sense why he plays at all. Like, play a shorter bench or use Justin Champagnie. I can't wait till Yuta Watanabe's back so that we never see Chris Boucher play again. This is a contract year for Chris Boucher. Do you want to get paid at the end of the year? Do you want to still be in the NBA at the end of the year? Because the way he's playing right now, there is no spot for him. I don't know. So if you walk into Philadelphia tomorrow, there's no Joel Embiid, but if you walk in against Andre Drummond without a center on the floor, he is going to fucking lick the glass clean. Because it happened in preseason with a center available. If you go into that game with a not 100% Pascal Siakam at center, again, there's going to be some serious problems on the glass. That is a good rebounding team. That is the hottest team in the Eastern Conference right now, the Philadelphia 76ers. You seriously need to make some adjustments if you're Nick Nurse, because there was not one positive to take from that game other than an exceptional performance from Scotty Barnes, other than the late turnovers in the fourth quarter. 21 points for Scotty Barnes. Gary Trent was okay. Fred VanVleet was meh. OG Anunoby was airballing wide open threes. Like, I don't know what has possessed this team. Boucher is literally worse than Freddie Gillespie was. Like, I guess they're both on the same level. That's a good description because they both literally do nothing but negatively impact this team. Man, what a rant. Okay, lots to think about for the Raptors, but I think what's good is that you go back to back. This game, get it out of your mind right away because you've got another job to do tomorrow. And you've lost 3 in a row and you're playing the best team in the East. Don't let yourself get embarrassed again. I'm looking forward to that Pistons game on the weekend. Please, Lord, we got to win that one. But we got the Philly one in the process. Hopefully we get a job done in that one because, my goodness, if you, I mean, this is a 4-6 Celtics team. If you walk out like this against Philadelphia, it's going to be a lot worse than the way this game went. So I got nothing else to say. I'm thoroughly upset. This is, again, embarrassing. I always say when the Raptors are playing that this season in particular, I care not very much about the win-loss, right? I care putting an effort and doing the right things to develop on the court. That did not happen today. So that is what makes me the most upset. I'm looking forward to watching the Pistons because the Raptors, in theory, should win that game. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching this clip. Make sure to subscribe for a post-game show for every single Toronto Raptors game, plus lots of other fun stuff, the best highlights from our Twitch streams. Give us a like. Let's get to 75 likes on this stream, on this clip. Actually, let's get to 50. The loss is we don't get the true action. Get to 50 likes on this video. And if you want to watch these live, check out the Twitch channel with the link in the description. And see you again next time for another post-game show. Thank you.